Well, good morning. It's again been quite a while since I've joined you, Scott Campbell, a Christian pastor in French Quebec, and I generally now do these talks in English and French. So not word for word. I don't uh, prepare them in writing. So there is some difference between the French version and the English version. I think I've already mentioned that our church this year has adopted a theme of together, let's move forward with calm and confidence. It's based on Isaiah uh, chapter 30, verse 15. And we're looking at a future that's, as any future is unknown. We're an aging church. We're mainly a baby boomer church, and we're trying to renew ourselves and find some, reach out to younger, under 40 people because we don't have a lot of people between 20 and 40. So that's what we're doing. And one thing we've been doing is building sermons and teachings off that theme. So the whole thought of being together, how should we stay together, stay unified, stay harmonious as we move to the future? Because there are so many possibilities and so many choices. And this can apply to obviously to any area of our lives that we're going through individually. We're looking at the future, or as a couple, a family, uh, as I say, the church, a business. Maybe you're looking at future. It's not real comforting as you look forward. So this idea of togetherness is, I think, critical. And what struck me in preparing one of the teachings, in fact, a couple of the teachings, was to look at how did it all start? Because in Genesis, there is what we call in French an ensemble. And in fact, we use that word in English, an ensemble. We use it mainly for music, but in French, you can use it for a grouping of people. And this togetherness starts at the very beginning. So I went to Genesis 1 and looked at Genesis 1, 26 to 28 and said to our people, look, here's the basic unit of togetherness forever, for eternity. We have God, singular, saying, let us make man or humans in our image. So we have this triune God who is one God and at the same time three persons. And that togetherness, that ensemble, makes for the basis of every other partnership and team and unit where we work together. That's the base. So you find in Genesis 1 that this eternal ensemble, eternal together unit in the Trinity makes people. And so it's no surprise that the people that are made are plural. There are two, right? There's the man and the woman. And in our day of, extreme discussions over gender and over sexual identity, over there's just so much going on. It's always helpful to go back to the beginning and say, well, when God, the triune God, chose to make us in his image, what was the result? What came out of that creation? And what we see is a man and a woman. So we see two beings with the same essence, the same way that God is one God. He has the same essence, and yet we see the man and the woman. We see them fitting together. We see them working together. And it takes both to most fully represent God. And it takes both being together and working together. And that's confirmed as God then moves on. He says, okay, I've made man and woman in my image. So here's, at least before the church, before the arrival of Jesus on earth, the fullest expression of the character and identity of God, the triune God, was man, woman, and then I would add children. But so what we see is this working together. Now God is working with the man and the woman, and he blesses them. And it's interesting that anytime the word blessing is there, it's talking about he bestows his favor. It's a positive thing. And he bestows his favor on the man and the woman. And he says basically two things. One, reproduce my image in the whole earth. That was God's desire, that it wouldn't just stay with one man and one woman, but it would truly, his image, his character, his identity, so his goodness, his love, his power, everything about him was supposed to be spread over this earth through this man and woman who would reproduce and create new beings made in the image of God. So that was the first blessing. He said, I want to bless you and commend you in this endeavor. Second, he says, I also want you to govern, to steward, to rule over my creation. I'm entrusting to you this mandate. Govern this world, the animals, the plants, everything about it, steward it. I don't even want to go into how we have failed on that level. We have so failed in many respects that we have not stewarded, we have not cared for, we have not managed. All too often, we have destroyed, we have manipulated, we have uh, used creation, obviously, for our selfish gain. Not in every case, but, and this wouldn't have happened if, of course, sin hadn't entered the world. We're aware of that. That's where all this, these two mandates went awry in some way because of the fall and sin. But what struck me was to say to our people, once again, folks, in a world of polarization, in a world of backbiting and infighting, and a world where we, right, separate and divide, let's see God as one who unites, and he brings the man and the woman together, and he gives them these two mandates. And it's really important, I think, to say that at the beginning, before the fall, the mandate to govern, to manage, to steward is given to the man and the woman as a team. It's not men go govern the world or women go govern the world. No, it's together with your complementarity, with the fact that you fit together in all levels, intellectually, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You fit, you're made for each other, and you reflect the way the Trinity is made for each other. Go into the world and govern. And so, for me, in my opinion, any discussion that takes place in the church or this or society or family, at whatever level, I think we need to remember these verses, that the original plan is truly this two-person team. And as I said, then you add children. So the team grows. But it's this team that is called to move out into this world. And so anything that's said about men and women in the Old or the New Testament, I believe, needs to, in some way, reference Genesis 1 and 2. And I've just talked about 1 today. Maybe I'll get a chance to do 2 as well. It's an exciting, exciting venture. And the original plan has not changed. God still wants to bring his image into the whole world. And I believe he still wants men and women to be working together as closely as we can to bring that image into the world and to govern that world in a proper way. So that's kind of where we've been going lately as our church and talking about togetherness, that the most basic unit of togetherness is, yes, us relating to God, but then him relating to the man and the woman and children as a team going out in this world. Thank you.